How do you make a how-to video when you don't have much? Go with what you got. Ahem. That's better. The one thing you need to know about when playing the flute is how to blow into it. Okay, that's too close. Too close! Your lips. Always focus your lips. Centrally streamed. Primarily called embouchures. I don't know why. But the lip position is important because in order for it to make a sound, the air needs to travel over and into the flute head. Makes a good slide whistle. Now, normally when you have a flute, you don't actually have it out all the time. It's in three parts: the head, the body, and the foot. Not the butt, the foot. The foot! Important to know how to assemble your flute. First, you gotta put your head joint in. Now, depending on how flat or sharp you are, you may need to watch this. How far in it goes. It goes on the other end. Now, make sure the following things are aligned. Mouthpiece, to hold the mouthpiece to this right here. And this, make sure this key is aligned with this key right here. Like so. Yeah. How to actually start to play? Well, first, you gotta know how to hold it. Fingering is one thing. Where the fingers go is important. No matter which hand you are, you will always have your flute facing to the right side of your body, like so. Always keep it level with your head, kind of like shoulders. Parallelity. No, wait, that sounds like parallel reality. No, this. No, this. No, this. No, this. Oh, wait, this is marching. Now, here's how your fingers goes. Left hand, pinky goes on this key, which controls this. Your thumb actually goes on this and can alternate between here and here depending on which note. Primarily this is used for alternate B flat, which I will get to later. If you're wondering about the whole, this is for a more advanced flute player, and also you can tell by the lower B flat key. Normally for a starter you would have this much left and no holes, especially with the plugs. I need to get better. Anywho, this right here, and as you can see with each of the holes, they go right here. Each of your fingers goes on where you would see the hole right here. As for the pinky on your right hand, it goes on the foot, not the butt. And the only thing that's primarily supports it is your right hand thumb, which goes right here. This is awkward. It's best to keep your fingers as close to the notes, as close to the keys as possible. Unlike me, who needs more practice. And just for that, I am going to run a lap around my yard. Eventually. Someday. Bad idea. Well, my brother has finally caught up with me, thankfully. Because, interesting trivia, the flute uses more air than a tuba. So, first thing, we'll start with probably the basic note of any instrument, concert B flat. Certain instruments are tuned differently, sound different, but they all relate to one thing: concert scale, which by the way is what the flute can play. Concert B flat. There's a difference between B flat and B. I'll explain later. For B flat, there are two fingerings. Here's one fingering. Left hand pinky, right hand pointer finger, this, you'll need this about for every note except C. And right hand pinky. For an alteration, you will not need this, but for this, change it from here to here. Play like this, it's a B. B flat, B. B flat, B. B. See the difference? No, wait, hear the difference! For any alterations, that's probably a B. Let's go up one. C. Like B flat alteration, except no thumb. No thumb required. Wait, all thumbs? One thumb. No, wait, no thumbs. Next, we go up. D. All but your pinkies go down, and your thumb. Always keep that in mind. E flat. Singing why E flat? Why not E? Well, for one thing, basic scale for any player in any band to know is B flat. It's basically D, but with the addition of your right pinky. Now, as notes get higher, sometimes you need to change your airspeed as they get higher. Like this. I'm going to go and only play a B. That sounds familiar. F. This pinky, it goes down. These two fingers go up. You do this, it's an E. You can tell the differences with E flat. Next is the last letter in the musical alphabet, G. Remember yesterday our band director said play an H. No, it was Thursday. Play an H. There is no H. It does not exist in a musical alphabet. Basically for G, go up. A. It goes from A to G. A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G. Basically, up one more. And next, B flat. Now let's play. And if you do have an open hole flute or a clarinet / oboe, always keep the holes covered, or else that was an ugly F. Well, I said earlier that the music has alphabet. It's true, and that you also have to read it. Now you're wondering, how do I read music? Well, I don't know for any other instrument except flute, but I shall explain. There are multiple different types of notes. First note is called the whole note. Whole notes are, well, in O. That's how they're shaped, and they last for 4 whole beats, like that. Next note down, half note. Half notes are whole notes with the stick coming out of it, and they basically get half the value of a whole note. So basically think mathematically. 4 notes for whole, 2 for half. Quarter. Quarter is basically a half with a blacked out center, and they basically get 1 beat for many basic players, but there's more. Next one is an 8th note. There's something smaller than a whole beat? Yes, there is. Now, you probably see that more complicated music, but I'm not going to show you anything complicated. 8th note basically gets half of a beat. 1. Basic way to think of it is up, down, down with beats. Tapping your foot. That is one way to keep the beat. Down is the start of a beat. Up is the half of a beat. I'll get to that in a second. 16th notes. Yes, even smaller. They get 1/4 of a beat. So basically you get 4 of them in 1 whole beat. Isn't that so exciting? And then there's 16th, 32nd, 64th, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, there are lots of them. Also applies to the rest. And you're wondering, Am I supposed to breathe in the middle? No, but you can breathe on a rest. Rest applies the same way with notes, except different. Whole rest is basically a rectangle underneath the fourth highest line in a bar of music. Then there's a half rest, which is on top of the middle line. See the difference? Hanging, whole. On top, half. I don't get why, though maybe it's because of the position. Then there's the quarter rest, which I don't know how to describe it. I'm trying to imagine Arabic writing. That's the best I got. Then there is the 8 rest, which kind of looks like a comma with a leg. Nobody knows what happens to the other leg. And so on and so on and so on and so on. But you're wondering, why is a whole note called a whole note? Well, basically, time signature. Before you start to play music, look at the very beginning of your piece. Basically, you read it like a book. At the beginning, there should be a treble clef with time signature that varies. Multiple time signatures of a variable of 2. 2-4. Most basic one is 4-4. There's also 3-4, 2-4, and 6-4, 6-8, 4-8, so on. Notes. How do you know which note you're supposed to play? The middle one is B. Next one up is C, and not the line, the space. You count the spaces with the notes. B is in the middle, C is on the space above it, D is on the next line, E is in the space, F is on the top line, G is above the bar. And I bet you're wondering, where's the A coming? It can go above it. Though then again, you have to write lines there to tell which note, because if you went to like E above that, you'd have to include 3 lines. A, and then B above the line above the bar. What scale you're supposed to play? Scales vary depending on whether they're flat, sharp, or just snap. Flat, to tell if it's flat, there's a sign that looks like a lowercase b. Sharp looks like a number sign. Or for those of you who do Twitter / any other randomness, hash something. Tag. Oh, thank you. And to tell if it's natural, basically imagine a number sign without the horizontal-ish lines. It still has the vertical ones, though not the horizontal. Actually, it's more like the center of it, but with 2 of the lines, one on top, one on the bottom. You know, practice. It's probably best not to practice somewhere in the house where your parents can hear you, because the flute is loud. Basic places you can try to practice. One place you can try is outside. No one to disturb, no one to bother you. Plus it's a bit peaceful. Just don't try to practice in rain, because, well, you want to try to replace all the pads on here? That is not a good idea. Just because it's all metal doesn't mean you can play it outside in the rain, or at least at like 8 a.m. At least at like 9 a.m. because it's almost 2 minutes from 9 right now for me. Probably best not to practice in the shower either. Even though some of you like to sing in the shower, it is not a good idea to play your flute in the shower. Mostly because, hello, you also get wet a lot heavier, which is not good for your pads. Now where's the soap? It's best not to practice in a place with distracting sounds or music unless, of course, you're playing with a recording, because it'll mess up your tempo if you are playing a certain piece of music, or you'll lose your concentration, like me, because I can't handle it. Can you turn that back down? Wait a minute, you're learning that thing. Do it! Dude, turn the thing off! Turn it off! Turn it off! One very good place to do it is probably in your own room. There's no distractions, no electronics, and especially because you can close your door and not disturb anybody. I forgot my flute.